Hello everyone, welcome back to another HUFO. This is the series where I give you my honest, unfiltered opinions on a variety of subjects that you ask me on Instagram. To get involved in a future one of these, make sure you guys follow me over there and pay attention to my stories. But before we get into it, I'll quickly let you know that I've got some new merch available over at shopsamuraiguitarist.com. This shirt right here is the all-new Samurai and Guitar playing card design. It was supposed to come out a little while ago, but those plans were pandemicked, so it's out now. If you think this design looks good, in my opinion, you'd be right. You can pick one up over at shopsamuraiguitarist.com. It's a great way to support what I do while also looking like an absolute cool guy. Anyways, let's get to it. Shaquille Oatmeal asks if I think combining multiple genres is a good idea. I definitely do. The blending of genres is a key component in the evolution of music. I mean, look at the birth of jazz in New Orleans in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Here you have blues, ragtime, European harmonies, African rhythms, as well as many other things mixing together to make this incredible new art. The same is true with rock and roll, the roots of which can be found in country, swing, blues, skiffle, gospel, folk, the list goes on. The blending of different musics of different cultures is a great thing that leads to innovation. I think it's only a bad thing if it's done in an intentionally disrespectful way, or if it's done just for the sake of it, not for the benefit of the music. Arjun Two Steps asks if I have perfect pitch and would having perfect pitch be helpful when making music. I certainly don't have perfect pitch, though with quite a bit of practice, I was able to develop pretty good relative pitch. Would it be beneficial if I did have it? Absolutely. If I had perfect pitch and put in the kind of practice that I put into my instrument, I would probably be able to do things that I'm not able to now. However, perfect pitch alone doesn't go all that far. I've known a number of people who have had it, and it didn't really contribute in any meaningful way to their musicality. They could name any note you played for them on the piano, but it wasn't like that allowed them to improvise interesting solos or play with a good sense of groove. Perfect pitch in the right hands could be a very valuable tool, but for someone else, it could be nothing more than a party trick. Music is Win asks, if tone were in a body part, other than the fingers, which body part would it be? I mean, it's got to be the hair, right? A.G. Ejo asks, my HUFO on music critics. I don't put a lot of stock in them, even though now and then I like to watch Anthony Fantano, but that's more of an entertainment thing. I like to think that I'm pretty in tune with my musical tastes, and I don't see how a critic's opinion would affect my preferences. I find music to be more subjective than, say, films, where I would put some stock in the critics' opinions. There aren't a lot of movies out there with terrible reviews that I actually enjoy. Comedies aside, I think comedies actually are quite subjective. Whereas with music, there's a lot of highly acclaimed albums that I don't enjoy at all, and vice versa. Josakos asked my HUFO on why guitar is the most popular instrument of them all. I'm not so sure that's entirely true. I think that might still be piano, or maybe some sort of production software, if that counts as an instrument. But either way, I'll tell you why I think guitar is as popular as it is. It comes down to a number of things. First, the versatility of the instrument opens it up to so many different styles. I mean, think of how different a flamenco guitarist sounds from a metal shredder, from a bluegrass picker to a funk player. There's not many other instruments out there that have that kind of wide range of sounds. The technology allows it to cut through for lead parts, but it can also be used to play chords. Besides a piano, there's not really much else out there that you can use for that harmonic role in a band. On top of that, it looks cool when you play it, and compared to other instruments, it's relatively affordable. I realize it can get expensive fairly quickly, but compare the price of a beginner guitar to a beginner upright bass and get back to me. Put all those things together, and the guitar starts getting popular. The popularity makes other people want to play it, creating a popularity feedback loop. And suddenly, you have a very popular instrument. Cokeman Jake asks, if I were to design a signature guitar, what would it look like? I actually have that very guitar designed, and I've been trying to get it made for a while now, though it would probably be just a custom-made one-off versus a signature run. I've been close to getting it made, but it's been delayed numerous times for one reason or another. I'm not going to reveal the details of it quite yet, because one day I will get it made, and I want it to be a surprise. I will say that I suspect it will be universally loved by every single guitarist. At least that's my hope. Next up, Charlie E asks, should he have a backup option if music full-time doesn't work out or just hope to get work? Let me tell you my experience with this, and you can take from that what you will. The moment that I decided that I wanted to learn guitar was the same moment that I decided that I was going to be a professional musician in one way or another. At one point, I briefly considered using my music degree to get into law school, but clearly I never went through with that. For me, there was never really a backup plan. It wasn't about if I would make a living playing music, but rather how I would make a living playing music. The people that I've seen have success in this industry, more often than not, have had that same mentality. No matter what, they were going to find a way to make it happen for themselves. If you'd asked me at almost any time between the ages of 13 and 30-some what my backup plan was, I would have told you that I didn't need one and that I was going to find a way to make it work no matter what, and I 100% would have believed that. I think that determination has led to whatever successes I've had. Brad D'Angelo asks my opinion on why so many people try and fail at a music career, which ties into the last topic. It's because making music is really, really fun. Everybody wants to play for a living and not work. Playing music or playing professional sports are really the only two things that I can think of that allow that. So you end up with a huge supply of musicians who want to make music doing what they love. The sad reality is that there is very little demand for the service that they provide. When you have this unbalanced economy, the value for the service that musicians provide becomes quite low. Except for the few who manage to get into the upper echelon of this industry, from what I've seen, it's not overly glamorous and the fun can wear off pretty quick. My biggest advice for most musicians is to first and foremost find a way to get the most amount of joy you can out of your music. Don't make it about money if you don't have to. Javi288 asks, what's my take on flamenco guitar and did I have to learn some in college? I did not need to learn it in college and have never found myself particularly drawn to it, though I don't dislike it by any means. And last for today, Kangland87 asks how I would define my guitar style. This is a tough one, and I think someone else could probably describe what they hear in my playing better than I can, but I'll give it a shot. I see what I do as an amalgamation of a number of different styles that I can do reasonably well, jazz, blues, country, and rock being the more obvious ones, though I wouldn't consider myself a master of any one style. I'm certainly not overly technical. I like to incorporate lots of chords with extensions and love me some open strings. I also value melody and tastefulness above anything else. I think the biggest compliment that I could ever receive is that if someone said that my style is just the style of Sammy G, no further explanation required. It's like if you said to someone, explain me Jeff Beck's style. You don't need to. Jeff Beck just sounds like Jeff Beck. No further description necessary. From the first note he plays, you know it's him. I don't think I'm necessarily there, but now when I sit down with my instrument, that's what I strive for. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Another HUFO in the books. To get involved in a future one of these, make sure you follow me over on Instagram. Remember, you can get my new shirt design as well as a variety of other tasty Sammy G shirts and sweaters over at shopsamuraiguitarist.com. There are different styles, colors, sizes, and designs over there. Check it out. It's a great way to support what I do. Thank you all for watching. To get caught up in the HUFO series, hit that link up there. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for a wide range of musical content. If you have a different opinion on any of these topics that I've talked about today, please let me know down in the description. Until next time, I'm Samurai Guitarist, and I will see you again soon.